Welcome back to MalChava Cuisine with Miss Naomi Mbungu. In today's video, I will be sharing with you guys how to make MADESU, also known as white kidney bean stew. To make our MADESU, we will be needing the following ingredients: 2 packets of white kidney beans, 1 can of chopped tomatoes, 2 onions, 4 garlic cloves, 3 to 4 tablespoons of tomato puree, and also 4 to 5 spring onions. To make our sauce for our MADESU, we will be needing 3 tablespoons of palm oil, 6 Maggi cubes, 1 to 2 cubes of tomato Maggi, 2 tablespoons of Maggi liquid, 1 tablespoon of Jumbo all-purpose seasoning, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and also 1 tablespoon of coriander. First things first, in a separate bowl I've placed in my beans, as you can see here, and I have the pot where I'm going to place in my beans to the side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to separate the beans. So I'm going to get the good bean and put it in the pot, and the bad bean I'm going to dispose of it. Sounds a bit funny, but yes. In other words, what they're saying in Lingala, like you will have to kupona MADESU basically. So you have to choose the good one to keep, the bad one we dispose. Once I have done choosing or picking out my beans, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it over a medium to low heat with 2 to 3 cups of water in my pot. I'm not going to add any salt to my beans because I'm going to do that with my seasonings. As you can see here, the bad beans have come up, which I assumed that they were good. So when you see 2 beans coming up, that means they are not the good beans, so we're going to dispose of that. So when you see a bean rising up, that means that bean is a bad bean. We need to dispose of that, and we will continue with our cooking process. So I've placed this over a medium to low heat, and I'm going to cook this for an hour and a half until it gets soft. In a medium-sized pot, I added in 3 tablespoons of palm oil. Once the palm oil was heated up, I added in my onions, spring onion, and also garlic. This is completely optional. You can also make this sauce with olive oil as well, but I wanted to do it with that ethnic touch of back home where they make it with palm oil. So as you can see, the onions have been placed in there. It's going to be sauteed until soft. Now I'm going to add in my spring onions, followed by my garlic, and I'm going to allow this to saute for 5 to 7 minutes until soft. And what I love doing, especially when I'm making MADESU, is I place in my Maggi liquid as well, so it can saute all together with my vegetables, or my onions, so it can have that nice authentic flavor, if I may say. So I've done a lot of experimenting with this recipe. So this is probably one of my first things I was ever taught when I started to learn how to cook, which was MADESU. So I've learned the ins and outs, and let's just say with a lot of trials and errors. So here it is. Once the onions and the spring onion and garlic has softened, I'm then going to add in my 6 Maggi cubes, which I crushed previously. I'm going to mix that all in together, and I'm going to allow that to infuse with the onions as well for, let's just say, a couple of minutes before I add in my tomatoes. Then added in my chopped tomatoes into the pot, and I'm going to allow this to infuse with the onions as well. Okay, so I added in the whole can of the chopped tomatoes. After adding in the tomatoes, I'm then going to add in 1 tablespoon of Jumbo all-purpose seasoning and mix well. Also followed by 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, I am then going to add in my tomato Maggi cube. This can be purchased at any African store, and I purchased this for 5 cubes for £1, which was a good offer. So I added this in. You can add one, or I did add in an extra one as well, which was not shown in the purpose for this video, but you can add in 1 or 2 as well. I was making this recipe for my entire family, so please don't be alarmed and feel as if I'm adding in too much flavorings. So I do have a large family, so I had to ensure that I was ensuring that I had to add in the right amount of flavors. One thing that I always mention is season as you go actually, so season to your desired taste. If you feel as if it's lacking a bit of extra salt or whatever, add in a pinch, but not too much, okay? I don't want to encourage you to add too much salt into our foods. I then added in my tomato puree, so you can add in 3 to 4 tablespoons of tomato puree, okay? And we're going to mix this all well together. Followed by that, what I also did is after adding in my tomato puree, I'd added in 2 cups of water to allow this to make our sauce as well, to infuse all well together. So you can add in 2 to 3 cups of water, not too much, bearing in mind that in our beans we also have the water from the boiled beans as well, okay? And we're going to mix that all in together once the sauce has all been cooked. And then goes in our teaspoon of our coriander. You can also use fresh coriander as well, or you can use the one that they sell in those spice bottles as well. And I'm going to mix that all well together to make our sauce. And then I'm going to add in my water, so 2 to 3 cups of water to make the stock. And once this is done, we're going to put this in the beans. So this has to cook really well. So I allowed this to cook for, let's just say, a maximum of 20 minutes on a low heat. I didn't put this on a high heat. I placed this on a low heat for it to cook for 20 minutes, okay? And I like to put this on the low heat for all of the flavors to infuse well together, so it can create that nice, thick, rich sauce. Our sauce is now ready and cooked, and now we're going to mix this with the beans. As you can see here, our beans are now cooked and they're just soft at just the right point. I don't like it to overcook it because it gets all mushy. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to gradually pour in the sauce into the beans. I don't know if you can still see some of the water from the beans there, so I did throw some of it and kept a little bit, not too much, okay? So allow the sauce to have that beans flavor. So we're going to add in the sauce of the beans gradually with a ladle, bit by bit. And I wouldn't advise you to throw it all in because of spillage. It can go everywhere and you don't want it to go everywhere as well. So add it in gradually, as you can see what I'm doing. And as I'm adding in gradually, the water that I used to boil the beans is coming up and it's going to mix in well with the bean sauce to add in that extra flavor as well, okay? So mix that all well together. As you can see, I'm adding it in bit by bit until we're done. One quick tip is that if you still see you have a little bit of sauce in your pot, add in 1 tablespoon of water, mix that in together and pour that back into the pot as well. So we don't want to leave any residue of the beans in the bean stew pot, so we want to mix that all in together. Once I've added it all in, I'm going to mix in the beans together, and we're going to bring this back onto the stove and we're going to cook this again for another 20 to 30 minutes until the sauce has been all well incorporated. I like to cook the beans on a medium to low heat because it can burn easily. So I'm using a non-stick pot. If you do have a non-stick pot, that is great. So I allowed this to cook for another 20 to 30 or 35 minutes depending on your cooker, and we're going to see how it will come out. So the sauce needs to blend in well with the beans and it's going to create this nice thick sauce, okay guys? Once the beans is cooked, it should look like this, not too runny and not too thick, so it's just the right consistency. And you can see compared to the previous, it's all been blended in together, so you can no longer see the water from the beans. It's all created a wonderful sauce, as you can see, all of our flavors and all of our vegetables to make the beans. Well guys, now time to dish up. And here we have it guys, our MADESU. As you can see here, I've placed it in a nice bowl for you guys to see how I tend to eat it if I'm not eating it with rice. So here we have our MADESU, and I had it with cassava dough, kwanga, and also some chicken wings. Give me a thumbs up if you want to see how I made these chicken wings, or write down in the comment section below how I made the chicken wings, okay? And I also have a few other videos where I've made chicken before. So here we have our MADESU with our kwanga, chicken wings, and here we have it guys. Today's recipe was MADESU. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and share as well. Thank you very much for watching MalChava Cuisine with Miss Naomi Mbungu.